Hi, my name is Anna, and I'm a singer.
Hi, my name is Peyton, and I'm a dancer.
And today, what are we doing today?
Today, we are back for a very exciting and very, very long-awaited comeback, and we will be reacting to BAE 173.
Yes, so BAE 173 is finally back today with a new release called Jaws. And it has been like over a year since their last comeback, hence the very, very long awaited. As always, we watch the teaser beforehand, so we kind of know what to expect. And this is a very big change from the past. That being said, let us go!
Alright, the intro is really satisfying.
포켓
Corner.
Oh, it's like gonna be partially animated.
It reminds me of a siren.
Oh. Akio.
I could never be this cool at that age.
Oh, same.
Oh, I like the color, like the
Pop, yeah.
Yeah,
Just the
thank
blue.
you. I can't get used to him with blonde hair.
Yeah, me neither. Yeah. Child, what happened to you?
You're a little overwhelmed.
Yeah. It has not let up at all. It's very like in your face too.
Their hands are like, look like teeth. Their fingers. Like the gloves they have on. Pay attention next time, like to their fingers.
My eyesight isn't good.
That's fair. It's
Oh,
because they
the
have
white.
skeleton gloves.
The white?
Yeah.
Also, it just registered in my mind that you probably very much enjoy this music video because it's just all dance.
I do! That makes you like want to breathe with them.
The green hair is very like Joker.
Yeah. His facials are too.
Yeah. Calm down.
Breathe for a moment.
Oh. Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like I've just been like moving my head to the beat the whole time, but my eyes are like overwhelmed.
My face is kind of frozen, like.
Me too.
Scary!
Oh.
Y'all, I'm a little speechless. Like, I'm still honestly kind of trying to process the complete change because we both knew from the teaser that this was going to be very different than like 반하겠어 or 사랑했다, Crush on You, and I Loved You.
Yeah.
Those English titles. We knew it was going to be different, but like, I'm still kind of processing how different this is. And afterwards, Anna and I are both like, what have they done to our children? But I do have a couple of things to say about the dance, because for as speechless as I am, it was still a full dance music video, so I was also very happy. The first thing I want to talk about is sort of like the aggressiveness of the dance, and Anna was like, oh, it's very in your face. That's exactly what this is. Like the whole time, it's very in your face, and they enhance that feeling in a couple of different ways. So the first thing is that it's literally moving forward almost the entire dance. Like the chorus is a really good example of this because they have actually made it to the back of the stage right before the chorus and the pre-chorus, and then the whole thing shifts out, and they also are shifting away from each other, so they're coming towards you and they're becoming like a bigger mass, so it feels more overwhelming. But also all of their movements in that moment are leaned forward with their head like sort of up, so it's like they're in an attack position coming at you. And that's true of the movement that's standing. It's true when they get on their knee and they're sliding forward, like they're leaned forward. It's a very defensive position rather than like snaking on the floor. It's like coming at you, I'm going to attack, like an animal it's about to attack. But it's not just the chorus it's like that. I noticed watching it again that the whole dance is sort of moving forward. In order to accomplish that, at certain times they do have to obviously move backwards, but they accomplish that in a very interesting way because they use smaller groups in the choreography to cover the fact that they're moving backwards on the stage. So like half of them will move back while the others move forward and sort of like don't show that it's happening. So it's very interesting. It makes it feel the entire time like they're coming after you, like you're being hunted, which like makes sense. Jaws, you know, shark coming after you. Speaking of that, let's talk about the Jaws sort of like feeling. So this whole time, you know, you're feeling like you're being hunted, like someone's coming after you, and then they actually catch you. Oh my gosh, there's so much like second position in this where they're turning in and out, and it's like the clasping of Jaws, but also the way they're doing it makes it feel even more dangerous on top of, you know, already feeling very dangerous because it's delayed. So they'll turn out slowly, and that's sort of like the opening, and then the in is really fast and it sort of like comes back quickly as well. So it's like the snapping moment of like sharks biting you. This is very violent imagery. But yeah, I just thought that was really interesting because the delay on it, where it's like slowly coming out and then they catch you, makes it feel more dangerous. My last comment though was that I was kind of surprised at how the movements aren't very heavy because it is like a more serious concept. And with this concept, typically you would see like very weighted movement, but it's not. In fact, I would go back and say that rather than weighted, it's lighter and it's snappy, which I just thought was really interesting because I think it adds to that whole like dangerous feeling, I guess. Like I really can't process this. But I'm glad they're back. Anna's turn.
Hello, so it is time for my comments, and also please bear with me as I'm doing mine because I also, like Peyton, am still kind of 정신없어 after this because it is so different from what we last saw them as over a year ago. No amount of exposure to teasers would have mentally prepared me for this change. That being said, let's just get into it. So common theme for the song, what you sort of called the siren in the beginning, but it's underlying the whole time, the da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It sounds kind of like someone saying something too. That is the common theme. It's just not present in the pre-choruses and the bridge, as usually happens for common themes in any song. I think the siren comparison was good because it's kind of like a warning. I mean, like obviously this is not a siren sound effect, but it has those same traits of like feeling ominous like a warning, and it is very not piercing per se, but it does stick out a lot with that constantly present. And also because it moves, it's not just like duh, it's like a da-da-da-da-da-da, like it's constantly moving. It makes you feel anxious, like you're activating your fight or flight mode, which is probably why we reacted so like the whole time. Other things that sort of contribute to this dangerous, ominous effect, they have a very grounded bass, which is why when you said that the dance wasn't grounded, I found that really interesting because I was like, oh, but the song feels so grounded. At least the bass does, because the bass that you hear is very deep the whole time. Even when it's moving, it still has this effect of like just sitting there waiting because of how it rings out. If you heard this on a really good sound system, I feel like it would be one of those things where it's literally like shaking everything around it. Not necessarily punchy, but the way that it rings out. That being said, because it was non-stop moving, the moments where it does break were really nice. I know that the pre-chorus is supposed to be kind of a break because like the common theme isn't there and musically it shifts a little bit, but the sound is still so full that it doesn't really feel like a break. Instead, only the bridge does, and even then, because of what's being sung, it's like higher pitched, constantly ascending, like there's that tension and energy in the air. It still doesn't really feel like a break, but it does feel like a shift musically. The last comment that I have to say though is, like I was saying, like you also commented on, a lot of it is like very in your face, aggressive. You have their most rap heavy title track to date now. Musically it's very intense, and also a lot of the melodic lines being sung are like higher pitched, sort of like shouting out feelings with sustained notes. And then lastly, they have a lot of like group chant shout moments. Essentially the entire chorus is that them like speaking it all together, and you said in the chorus as well, it's like moving forward the entire time. So just like this group of very like aggressively dressed boys moving forward at you while yelling is very intimidating. Oh, what happened to our children? They're so scary now. But anyways, that's how I was gonna end my comments. I'm also still processing this. But it is my turn to TLDR, so TLDR for this reaction is, first of all, congratulations to BAE173 on their comeback Jaws. It's taken over a year. I was gonna call them Pitchisam because that's their nickname, but it feels too cute for their vibe right now. But we are very excited to see what they will come back with after waiting for over a year for their comeback. They really brought a lot of intensity and energy and a complete concept and image change. So we're excited to see what the promotions bring, but first and foremost, we need to like fully process this.
That being said, if you also were super excited for a BAE 173 comeback after over a year and are really loving Jaws, even if you're a little bit like shaken up by this whole concept change like we are, then come talk to us on our socials, still linked in the cards. And as always, if you enjoyed this reaction video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, turn on your notification bell, and bye!